As the Green Bay Packers gear up for organized team activities, the burning question on every fan's mind is, will the defensive line come together as a cohesive unit? With new defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon at the helm, there's palpable excitement mixed with uncertainty. What can we expect from the key players as they dive into the complexities of the new playbook? Today, we unpack the defensive tackles and their prospects for the upcoming season, and trust me, you won't want to miss this deep dive. Now, let's get right into it. Where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments, and let's hear your thoughts on the Packers' defensive line situation. Starting with Devonte Wyatt, a significant piece of this puzzle, the 2022 draft pick has shown promise with a remarkable ability to pressure quarterbacks. Despite a tough injury that hampered his 2023 season, Wyatt's statistics speak volumes. He ranked third among his draft class with 16 sacks, trailing only edge rushers Aiden Hutchinson and George Karlaftis. His pass rush win rate was impressive, landing him in the top 15 among defensive tackles. However, the question looms, will he be ready for OTAs after suffering a broken fibula and ligament damage? The Packers will undoubtedly be crossing their fingers as they hope to see Wyatt back in action and contributing to a strong start. Then there's Javon Hargrave. The 33-year-old veteran is a player the Packers are banking on for a resurgence. After a career-high 11 sacks under Gannon's guidance with the Eagles, can he recapture that form? His performance in 2024 was less than stellar, but his experience could prove invaluable. If Hargrave can turn back the clock, he could be a game-changer for Green Bay's defensive front. Next, we look at Nazir Stackhouse, Jonathan Ford, and Chris McClellan, who are all vying for that crucial nose tackle spot in the new 3-4 defense. Stackhouse, an undrafted rookie from last season, might just step into that starting role, despite limited stats last year. The competition is fierce, as he will have to contend with Ford, who has been a project for the Packers, and McClellan, whom they viewed as a versatile player capable of being more than just a two-down tackle. McClellan's ability to rush the passer is a notable asset, and his performance during OTAs will be critical for his future with the team. Warren Brinson and Karl Brooks are also in the mix. Brinson showed flashes of potential last season, and his pass rush win rate was promising. Brooks, while having a less productive last season, has the foundation to build upon. The coaching staff will be looking for these players to step up and create depth in the defensive line. And let's not forget about Jaden Crumedy and Anthony Campbell, who add even more intrigue to the mix. Crumedy, with his enticing physical skills, and Campbell, who brings size and speed, will both be looking to carve out a niche on the roster. Meanwhile, Jordan Riley, who showed promise before his Achilles injury, is another name to watch as he returns from his setback. The Packers' decision to opt for McClellan over a more traditional nose tackle like Dominique Orange speaks volumes about their vision for the defense. They're looking for players who can do it all, stop the run and rush the passer. This philosophy reflects a modern approach to defensive line play, emphasizing versatility over specialization. As we approach OTAs, the real question remains, can these players not only grasp Gannon's system but also elevate their game to meet the demands of the NFL? The competition will be fierce, and the stakes are high. The potential for Wyatt's contract extension looms large, and his performance could dictate the Packers' future plans. In conclusion, while the defensive line may be shrouded in uncertainty, there's also an undercurrent of excitement. The upcoming practices will be the first step in answering some of these pressing questions. Fans should buckle up. It's going to be a fascinating journey as we watch this unit evolve and develop. And speaking of evolving, let's transition to our next news item, where we'll delve deeper into the offensive front and how it complements this restructured defense. Stay tuned.
In the wake of the Green Bay Packers' shocking playoff defeat to the Bears, the focus has shifted to the future, and the spotlight is squarely on Jordan Love. Despite throwing 4 touchdown passes without a single interception, a feat achieved by only 22 quarterbacks in playoff history, Love finds himself in a precarious position, having been one of just 3 to walk away with a loss. The narrative is clear. Love is undeniably talented, but is he surrounded by enough talent to make that leap into playoff contention? As we dive deeper into the Packers roster, the team is currently ranked 14th in terms of supporting casts according to scouts' assessments. This ranking raises eyebrows, particularly given the lack of significant offseason acquisitions on the offensive side. The arrival of receiver Sky Moore, expected to contribute on special teams, and 5th-round pick Jaeger Burton, aimed at bolstering depth on the interior line, hardly strikes fear into the hearts of opponents. The questions about the receiver core loom large. Green Bay is banking on a less is more philosophy after parting ways with Romeo Doubs, the leading receiver from 2025, and Dontavian Wicks. There's potential here, certainly, but it's shrouded in uncertainty. Christian Watson dazzled last season, but has yet to prove he can withstand the rigors of a full 17-game schedule. Several scouts have touted 2025 first-round pick Matthew Golden as a potential game-changer. Yet his talent went largely untapped last season, leaving many to wonder just how much he could elevate this offense. It's been a long time since the Packers had a 1,000-yard receiver. Davante Adams was the last to achieve that milestone back in 2021. While Watson showed flashes of that type of production upon returning from a torn ACL, his ability to maintain that level of output over an entire season remains a significant concern. Jayden Reed's promising start to his career was derailed by injury last season, and Golden's emergence was stifled by the return of Watson and Reed. Meanwhile, tight end Tucker Kraft was on a trajectory to surpass 1,100 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns before an unfortunate torn ACL derailed his campaign. His dominance, especially after the catch, is something the offense must capitalize on moving forward. In the backfield, health is again the key issue. A fully healthy Josh Jacobs is a top-tier running back, but the depth behind him is alarmingly thin. If Jacobs struggles with injuries like last season, the Packers find themselves in a precarious position. The offensive line is another area of concern. With Jordan Morgan stepping in at left tackle and hopes resting on the development of center Sean Rhyan and right guard Anthony Belton, the Packers are crossing their fingers for a bounce-back season from right tackle Zach Tom. The line has been shaky, and the uncertainty surrounding it could hinder the overall offensive performance. As we analyze these challenges, it's clear injuries will be a part of the equation. Will Savion Williams evolve beyond a mere gadget player? Can Moore, or one of the younger receivers, step up to become a reliable option? General Manager Brian Gutekunst may find himself compelled to explore the veteran market if these questions remain unanswered, especially with names like Stephon Diggs floating around. At tight end, can Luke Musgrave finally tap into his potential after being overshadowed by Kraft? The Packers' only additions here have been undrafted players, raising red flags about their depth and strategy. The stark reality for Green Bay is that the NFC is a battleground filled with formidable offenses. The top 5 teams in the rankings are from this conference, posing a direct challenge to the Packers' playoff aspirations. The Bears, who clinched the NFC North last year, and the Lions, who have dominated the division in recent seasons, both sit ahead of Green Bay in these rankings. The Bears, now under the guidance of Coach Ben Johnson and quarterback Caleb Williams, exhibit a striking resemblance to the Lions of yesteryear, a potent offensive duo at running back, a dynamic tight end core, and a game plan that keeps defenses guessing. While Chicago boasts a strong offensive line, the Packers' front 5 remains a question mark. The Lions have armed Jared Goff with an arsenal of premier weapons, placing additional pressure on the Packers to elevate their game. Love's supporting cast, ranked 9th in the NFC, underscores the uncertainties and inconsistencies that plague this roster. It's no wonder Green Bay finds itself outside the top 10 in the latest consensus NFL power rankings. As we transition to our next segment, the future of the Packers hangs in the balance, and the questions only multiply. Can they build the necessary support around Jordan Love, or will they need to make bold moves to secure their future? Let's keep the discussion going as we delve into what lies ahead for this storied franchise.
As we delve into the final segment of today's discussion, we need to address something significant: the Green Bay Packers' position in the NFL hierarchy, particularly regarding General Manager Brian Gutekunst. There's buzz around the league, and it's worth noting that many analysts are pointing to Gutekunst as a pivotal figure in the Packers' recent successes. Have you been following this narrative? Let us know where you're watching from and share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's peel back the layers. According to recent rankings by NBC Sports, Gutekunst has been recognized as one of the elite general managers, earning a commendable 6th place among all 32 NFL GMs heading into the 2026 season. This is not just a statistical nod. It's a testament to how well the Packers have navigated some of the most turbulent waters in their history. While many franchises crumble after losing a Hall of Fame quarterback, Gutekunst has kept the Packers competitive, transitioning from the iconic Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love with relative grace. This transition was never going to be straightforward. The expectation when moving on from a legend like Rodgers is often a drawn-out rebuilding phase, yet the Packers have swiftly returned to playoff contention, all while boasting one of the youngest rosters in the league. There's a reason analysts are singing Gutekunst's praises. He has displayed an exceptional ability to manage this critical transition without losing sight of the bigger picture. One of the most controversial decisions during Gutekunst's tenure was selecting Jordan Love in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. At the time, many fans were questioning the logic of investing in a quarterback when the team was so close to championship contention. Fast forward a few years, and that contentious pick is starting to bear fruit. Love is emerging as the franchise quarterback the Packers needed, validating Gutekunst's foresight and the long-term vision he had for the team. Let's be honest, not every move has been flawless. There have been playoff disappointments and some free agent acquisitions that haven't panned out. Concerns linger about whether the roster contains enough elite talent to push for another Super Bowl appearance. However, it's crucial to recognize that rankings like these often consider the organizational health and sustainability rather than just isolated transactions. When we look at Gutekunst's approach, it becomes clear that he has successfully fostered a culture of young talent. Players like Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, Zach Tom, Ajaron Cooper, and Evan Williams have emerged as essential contributors, showcasing the Packers' ability to draft effectively and avoid the pitfall of overspending in free agency. This strategy has granted Green Bay the flexibility to remain competitive without jeopardizing its future. It's evident that Gutekunst has built one of the deepest young rosters in the league. With many key players still in their mid-20s, the Packers are not just looking at a one-year window. They are positioned to compete for seasons to come. The sixth-place ranking in the GM list is a reflection of this sustained potential and the belief that the Packers are on a trajectory for continued success. As Love steps into his prime, supported by a youthful and talented cast, there's a palpable sense of optimism surrounding the franchise. Stability within the front office further enhances this outlook, suggesting that Green Bay is not just a flash in the pan, but a team prepared for the long haul. In conclusion, the Packers have long been viewed as a model franchise in the NFL, and rankings like this reinforce the notion that the groundwork laid by Gutekunst is essential. His ability to blend immediate competitiveness with long-term planning is precisely what has kept the Packers in the conversation as contenders. As we look ahead, the future appears bright for Green Bay, and that's something worth celebrating. Before we wrap up, make sure to subscribe and share your thoughts on the Packers' future in the comments. How do you feel about Gutekunst's strategies? Are we on the right path? Let's hear from you.